we see the Fed is actually lowering interest rates and devaluing the dollar, and that's part of the solution in solving the deficit, in that the money can be paid back in cheaper dollars. Now, what is your opinion of that? What do you think?
Well, I think it will increase our exports, which should keep our jobs. We need jobs in this country.
Our opinion in this group that the government is actually manipulating the statistics, the job statistics, the inflation statistics specifically, and therefore the GDP figures would be affected also. And we actually think there are a lot less jobs being created, and the economy is in much worse shape than is being officially reported.
Well, that's a hard thing to prove.
Well, that's why it can be done.
That's a hard thing to prove that numbers are being manipulated. I can't say yes and no. I can tell you that there are some places in this country, Detroit, Cleveland, it's like a depression. And we also don't know how to factor in the subprime mess.
Okay, have you ever seen anything like this? Do you see any analogies in your career experience that you can relate to this?
No.
No. So this is a unique phenomenon. And
This
people
is,
need to know this.
this is unique. In my opinion, there's a lot of people that should go to jail. And they have made millions and billions of dollars on it. And maybe they should be able to buy their way out of jail by giving back that money. This is unique. I don't know where the regulators were. I do not know where the rating agencies were.
Now, what would you do to solve it? What would your suggestion?
There were some people that should not have been allowed to buy a house. They never worked, or they never had
Well, they could not
income.
afford the house they bought.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a combination of things, and a lot of the fault lies in the mortgage brokers, and who are not tightly regulated by anyone. I think that there should be a way where they roll back some of this, the increase.
Now, Bush has recommended freezing subprime rates for adjustable rate mortgages
Yeah.
for 5 years. It's a volunteer program.
Well, I would like to see a guarantee of some kind being put out by, where the people can show that they do have a work history.
Okay, but people who could pay the mortgage off.
Not at their current rates, but they could pay,
that's
and it
something
was a well-documented thing, that there should be some kind of a government guarantee, and the government should make money on it. They made money on Chrysler, they made money on Lockheed, they made money when they guaranteed commercial things. If they guarantee mortgages for people, maybe they should get a fee paid for it.
They do through Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, no?
Yeah, the lower priced ones.
Okay, and that's all, but a lot of those mortgages are in trouble right now.
They're in trouble too.
What is the similarity between the subprime and savings and loan? How much bigger is this problem? What's the relationship?
Well, the savings and loan problem was started in most cases that I knew, because these savings and loans were given additional powers. When I was superintendent of banks, our savings banks, we gave them the right to take 5% of their assets and put them into non-real estate. And we
5%.
monitored what they did. In federal case, I mean, these banks were given more powers, greater powers. As I remember, I was in Texas visiting a friend of mine in San Antonio, and she pointed out the local SNL was in trouble because they financed the golf course, which wasn't making money. I mean, they didn't have a business acumen. They didn't probably have a board. So you had this nationally.
No, once again, it sounds like there's a lack of regulation. They were allowed to do all sorts of things they should not have been allowed to do.
Allowed to, that
And in
is correct.
the subprime crisis, you just mentioned something very similar. They've been allowed to make all sorts of loans that should not have been
Well,
done.
they were, I've heard of cases where the people signed 3 different documents.
Well, for the subprime crisis.
Yeah, they had different rates in each one. Please. I mean, I've heard cases that you just want to go out and kill people.
We're not recommending that.
No.
Not
I mean,
our
it's just, it's not fair. And it was encouraging people to buy houses that were more expensive than they could afford. We have had an unlimited demand for housing,
Well, if you have unlimited loan money available, that will happen.
and that happened. And, I mean, there was one case that was on television today. He was a waiter, and he bought 4 homes in California. People were buying in Florida, and they were flipping, never intending to live there. And some people have gotten in very bad trouble. Now, you cannot bail these people out, nor do you want to. If they knew what they were doing, they contributed to their own problems.
How will we know how big the problem is?
Okay.
When will we know that?
I think we're going to have an idea. Under Sarbanes-Oxley, the auditors have a major responsibility to audit the correctness of the numbers.
I mean, the accountants.
The accountants
Okay.
who audit.
Okay, good.
And like I heard rumors, I don't know if they're true or not, that the reason that Citicorp moved, they moved the loans they had, the subprime loans, were offshore and off balance sheet. That's what Enron did.
Is this the SIVs you're discussing, or
Yes.
is it another? Okay, we've discussed this many times.
That
Yes.
they were offshore.
Why didn't we learn from Enron? This is the same problem.
I don't know, I testified to the Senate at their request on Enron. I called it total moral bankruptcy, because it took the cooperation of the accountants, the lawyers, the Wall Street firms, and the Wall Street banks to do those loans.